HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachan Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Erev Tov, good evening, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
It's great to be here with you, with my friend Cantor Rachel Rhodes, and with Lisa Katzman, the co-president of the Women of TRS, who is going to light the candles for us in just a few minutes, to bring in Shabbat and to bring the Temple Road of Shalom community into your home tonight with music and prayer. We reach out to everyone tonight, to everyone, including all those who have had, hopefully we've had a good week. Perhaps there are those who may be struggling in this time of continued isolation. We remind you that you're not alone. We hope also that if you're in a time of remembrance tonight for someone you have lost, that you'll find comfort and support in being together. For all of us, this is a chance to stop for a moment, to find our grounding and our connection and tap into the sweetness of Shabbat.
Absolutely.
So shall we sing another song?
Yes, the sweetness of Shabbat, of course, includes being together in whatever way we can. And it's wonderful to find ourselves together in this virtual world. So let's sing Hine Matov, being grateful for perhaps thinking back on last week and a beautiful moment you had during Thanksgiving, and looking ahead to our week of Hanukkah and bringing light into the world and finding that light within us and the beauty around us when we see each other. Hine Matov. Hine Matov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. 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 Hine Matov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad.
Now, as we turn to the candle lighting, you can find that in your prayer book, if you have a prayer book at home, on page 2, or in the flip book that you can find on the temple's website. And we turn to Lisa, and we thank Lisa and the Women of TRS, especially right now, for the amazing virtual Hanukkah Bazaar that they're doing, in spite of the fact that we can't have people come into the temple and buy items that they can use for the holiday. They're offering curbside pickup, and you can check out how to take advantage of that by looking at the temple website. There's a quick link from there. So thank you, Lisa, and we want to ask you to do the honor of lighting the candles.
Thank you, Jeff. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you for joining us, Lisa. Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I hope you all have a wonderful, healthy, and happy week ahead.
Thank you so much, Lisa. We continue with our Kabbalat Shabbat service on page 20 and 21. We join in the words of Lachadodi, welcoming in the Sabbath bride into our midst and allowing Shabbat to sink into our souls. I hope you'll join me singing this newish melody. Cross. if you feel comfortable doing so, I invite you to please rise as we continue with the Baruch Hu on page 28.
On page 30 of your prayer book, we continue with the Ma'ariv Aravim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim, uvitvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umesader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono. Bore yom balayla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Uma'avir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamidim lo chalenu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari Varavim. And on page 33, we have this reading about the gift of Torah. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Israel.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed.
If you've been standing and would like to be seated, you may do so. And on page 36, we continue with chanting of Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha bevetecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. There are good reasons why in every evening and morning service we sing this next prayer, the Michamocha prayer, and bring our minds back to our people's coming out of Egypt. It's our defining moment, one that inspires gratitude, identity, pride, possibility. And it also inspires action, to be part of redemption in every age, to play a helpful role in the life of another person or even another people. This Michamocha melody in particular helps us remember that even in celebration of our own freedom, we can feel a deep and quiet pull to look out for and respond to the needs of another.
We turn now to the Amidah, central part of our worship service this evening on page 46. If you feel comfortable doing so, I invite you to please rise. Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, Umevii Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava. Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol, Atah Rav le'Hoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. Page 52. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. If you are standing, I invite you to please be seated. We turn to page 53 to join together in singing this beautiful melody that is paired to these words, Ya'ana Emsa'acha, incredible message by Yehuda Halevi, the poet, speaking about how each of us finds our own different path to God at various times. And what I love most about this poem is this concept that when we reach out to God, God is also reaching out for us in return, that our relationship goes from one to the other and the other back to us. It's not a one-sided relationship. And in these times of struggle and times of feeling that darkness a bit more than usual on these winter months, I hope that when we reach out to God, we feel that reaching back to us, that glimmer of hope, that light within and around us. So Ya'ana Emsa'acha. I hope you join me as you get to know this melody. We take a few moments now for our own silent prayer and meditation. Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen. Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen. Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ve'imru amen. Take a moment now in our service to think of those in need of spiritual healing, physical healing, healing of the mind, body, and soul. Those in our world who are feeling isolated and alone, we send them these prayers for comfort. Those who are in pain, suffering from this pandemic, we send them prayers for healing and fullness, shleimut, wholeness of body and spirit. In our community this evening in particular, we're thinking of Alon ben Barbara, David Eliyahu, Hannah Esther bat Crandall, Nechama bat Chava v'Chanoch, Yehuda ben Fischel, Mark Appleton, Rabbi Laszlo Berkowitz, Sally Bloomberg, Henry Botak, Benifer Devar, Elizabeth Drabkin, Sydney Duberstein, Carlene Dubin, Rachel Duff, Matthew Kaiser, Jamie Kidwell, Jill Landsberg, Louis Landsberg, Craig Lighting, Candice Murhan, Bino Solomon, Brian Strongen, and Norma Tucker. We pray too for those who are victims of violence in Israel and around the world, as well as those in service to our country in need of emotional, physical, and spiritual healing. If you'd like to share a name now aloud with our community, I invite you to do so. And we join together in our prayer, the Misha Berach, our prayer for healing and strength. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
turn to some words about this week's Torah portion, which tells of Jacob's struggle one night on the beach of the Jabbok River, all alone, but with an Ish, usually interpreted as being a divine being. Through this struggle, Jacob is transformed into the man who will be remembered as the father of the Jewish people. Jacob is about to meet up again with his twin brother Esau, 20 years after he stole from Esau the blessing of the firstborn. He and this angel wrestle through the night, and finally dawn breaks and the angel needs to leave. But Jacob won't let him go, demanding yet again a blessing to which he's not entitled. In response, the angel gives Jacob a new name, Yisrael, meaning one who wrestles with God. For the angel says, "You have struggled with beings divine and human and have prevailed." In a surface reading, this transformation seems contrived. Jacob's essential nature hasn't changed. In fact, he already had a name that reflected this. While the root of Israel, Yisrael, Yud Sin Resh, means wrestle, the root of Yaakov, Yud Ayin Kuf, has a similar meaning, to supplant, assail, or overreach. He got this name because when Rebekah was in labor, the text tells us, Jacob was grasping Esau's heel, already wrestling, trying unsuccessfully to pull his brother back and be born first. He goes on to steal the birthright from Esau, then steal the blessing, and he even then tricks his uncle Laban out of a large portion of Laban's livestock. So Jacob's transformation is not becoming one who wrestles. He already is that. Instead, it's about what he wrestles for. While the first part of his name is shifted between two words that have the same essential meaning, the new part is what is added at the end of the name, the letters Aleph Lamed, meaning God. While Yaakov wrestles to get ahead of others, Yisrael wrestles for something beyond just himself. When understood in this way, the story makes sense. I resonate with the many commentators who interpret the Ish, or man with whom Israel wrestles, to be not really an angel, but his own conscience and his relationship to the others in his life. His brother, whom he's about to face and who he hopes will forgive him, his family who depends on him, and his commitment to the covenant with God, which he fought to inherit from his father. Where he used to struggle for his own benefit, now he struggles for more. He learns to own up to what he's done, and he strives to become worthy of the blessing he has won for himself. While every religious tradition is aimed at achieving an ethical life and a peaceful world, they don't all have the same means to that end. Some theologies emphasize more the idea of turning the other cheek, or of quieting the soul and finding peace of mind. Judaism too seeks these things in its own way. In fact, at TRS, the study of Musar is focused on these pursuits. At the same time, our tradition uniquely values Yisrael's kind of struggle. The reading earlier in the service about receiving the Torah said, we don't only follow it, we struggle with it. Judaism cherishes questioning and argument, and Jewish life is full of the tensions of saying, on the one hand, and on the other hand, nothing is taken for granted. And almost every commentary is based on how we reconcile some contradiction in the text or how we balance competing values. And sometimes even our prophets' protests to God over the big questions of justice and righteousness. We live on controversy. However, Judaism teaches that controversy is only valuable if it is engaged l'shem shamayim, for the sake of heaven. And this may be our tradition's way of trying to emulate Jacob's transformation into Yisrael. We are a people who struggle, and this may always be one of our communal qualities. But like Jacob, we can strive to struggle for the right reasons. May our arguments be for truth and not for right, and may our battles be for the good of all, not just the few. Kain Yehi Ratzon. We turn to our concluding prayers, the Aleinu, on page 282, and if you would like to, you may rise.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latet gdula liotzer breshit, shehu note shamayim v'yoser oretz, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגופי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Now we turn to a moment of remembrance for those whom some of us may be in mourning for loss, those who might have passed who are close to us in recent days, and those also for whom we are observing a Yortzeit. We remember especially this week the following people for whom we're observing Shloshim, those first 30 days. Frances Levy Burstein, mother of Douglas Levy, Maxine Walzer, mother of Lee, Saul Sunshine, father of Scott, William Borowski Jr., father of Susan Mayman, Gary Lebin, grandfather of Daniel, Jeffrey Rosenberg, brother of Julie, Armand Weiss, beloved member of Temple Road of Shalom and a founding member and past president, Lillian Broer Gromberg, mother of Stephen, and those for whom we are observing Yortzeit, Irving Abzug, George Altman, Maxine Applebaum, Lorraine Ash, Jerome Berkowitz, Gittel Bolt Yanaskaya, Harold Brill, Betty Briskin, Santiago Chmielewski, Joan Dixon, Daniel Friedman, Abraham Gallant, Evelyn Garber, Miriam Gelb, Morris Gold, Betty Goodman, Micah Hammond, Seal Harrison, Rebecca Jacob, Naomi Cantor, Cole Kleinberg, Saul Kruger, Norman Kuznets, Mary Lader, Dina Lueck, Virginia Margison, Rita Meshulam, Blanche Rochmies, Max Roizen, Ralph Rawson, Madeline Rudolph, Richard Satchwitz, Lazard Seif, David Schrager, Stephen Solars, Lenore Spingarn, Leonard Tibor, Howard Wallach, Simone Zemmel, Sylvia Zucker. We also remember those who have been lost recently in service to our country, and those who have lost their lives as a result of this pandemic, and all those around the world who have no one to say Kaddish for them. I invite you now to say the name of another loved one whom you may be remembering, and if I might have mispronounced a name of your loved one, to please say it for me. And we turn to the mourner's Kaddish, these words of gratitude and remembrance. If it's comfortable for you, you may rise. Yit Gadal, V'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Ve'amad Yivarach Irutei Ve'amlich Malchutei, V'chayechon U'v'yomechon, U'v'chaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala U'vizman Kari V'imru Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabbah Mevarach Le'alam L'almei Almaya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar V'yitalev V'yithalal, Shmei D'Kudsha B'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'ama v'imru amen. Yehi shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. Now, before we turn to the Kiddush, we wish a Mazel Tov to the families of the 4 students, the 4 young adults who are becoming B'nai Mitzvah tomorrow in the morning and in the afternoon. We are so happy for Katie Shore, Danielle Leff, Madeline Katz, and Rachel Rojas, and we wish you all a huge Mazel Tov and wish you a great day of celebration. We're very proud of you as a congregation. And we turn to the Kiddush as we bring in the Shabbat evening, which you can find on page 5 of your prayer books. Please join us. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim. Ki vanu baharta, veotanu kirashta, mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim. Thank you so much, Rabbi Saxe, for your beautiful drash. So inspiring, and to see you on this Shabbat evening. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Thank you to John Sennett, who's our tech person this evening, and to Lisa Katzman for lighting candles. It really takes an amazing village, of which we have. I'd like to conclude with these inspiring words that I think match so well with Rabbi Saxe's message. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, how beautiful are your works, O God. We look around our world and we find the light within each of each other and within the places that we can find joy, even in hard times. So I hope it's inspiring to you and that you'll sing along and that infuses a bit of joy into your Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Have a great weekend ahead.
Shabbat Shalom.